I'm Bryce, and today we'll be talking about the importance of proper piano technique. This video is part of a full course called Lead Sheets for Beginners, which you can check out at getgoodatpiano.com. With proper technique, we can play piano for extended periods without any discomfort, fatigue, or injury. Let's talk through some pointers to get you feeling confident and comfortable at the keys. To start, let's make sure that the bench is at the right height and distance from the piano. You can use a pillow or folded blanket if the bench isn't tall enough for you. When seated, your elbows should be slightly higher than the keys and your upper arm should rest next to your body. Now, let's sit with a nice upright posture. You should sit over the front of the bench with your feet firmly planted on the ground and your knees slightly underneath the keyboard. Imagine you are a puppet and your head is held up by a string. Your head should be held high with a long neck and a straight back. Your shoulders should be loose and relaxed. Now, you can reach your hands out and rest your fingers on the keys. Your upper arm should be upright against your body and your elbows slightly higher than the keys. Awesome! Now you're sitting at a comfortable position with good posture and you're ready to play. Next, let's talk through a couple tips for our hands and fingers. Before putting your hands on the keys, I want you to take a big breath in and a deep breath out and fully relax your hands. Imagine the shape your hands and fingers would be in if you were napping or sleeping. Having relaxed hands is key for enjoyment and avoidance of injury. Now, let's put our hands on the keys. Rest one finger on each key and then fully relax your hands once again. You may observe that your knuckles are raised above the keys, which is what we want. Let's try pressing our fingers down through the keys. In order to do this, we will need to engage the muscles in our fingers and hands. Let's activate the muscles only enough to keep the same relaxed shape in our hands as we press down the keys. Use the movement of your arm to press the keys down and try to move your fingers as little as possible. This brings me to the next big point about piano technique: curved fingers. A very common source of discomfort and even injury in pianists is flat fingers, which we must avoid at all costs. Instead, we want to have a nice curvature to our fingers. The knuckles and palm must be raised above the keys to achieve this. Let's use the comparison to a Roman arch. A Roman arch is historically the strongest structure to hold up a doorway, heavy bridge, or aqueduct. There is a reason why many ancient arches are still standing to this day. This arch shape distributes the load equally between all parts of the structure. Like a Roman arch, we want to distribute the load evenly between all parts of the fingers and hand. Every time you sit at the piano, think of the curvature of a Roman arch, and that could be a great reminder of these good practices for proper hand technique. Let's take a quick look at the pedals. When we operate the pedals, we want to keep our heel planted on the ground and pivot on the heel in order to press and depress the pedal. Avoid lifting your heel entirely off the ground when you operate the pedal, as this is a lot of effort and it creates instability in your body as you sit at the piano. I'm glad you took the time to learn about piano technique. It's an often overlooked part of learning piano, but it's extremely important to have good technique so that we can avoid strain and injury and get the most enjoyment out of playing for years to come. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. This video is part of an online course called Lead Sheets for Beginners, which you can find at getgoodatpiano.com. Please do check it out, and thank you for watching today. I'll see you next time.